Welcome back to the Southern Republican presidential debate. We're in Charleston, South Carolina tonight. Gentlemen, we're running out of time. Time flies. I wish we could stay all night. I don't suspect you have campaigning to do. I don't suspect you'll agree to that. I didn't think so. You know the history of this state. We're inside 35 hours now from voters in South Carolina going to the polls. And we all know the history of this state. In modern times, the winner of the South Carolina Republican primary has gone on to be your party's nominee. We have an interesting race at the moment. Senator Santorum wins Iowa. Governor Romney wins New Hampshire. Everybody's waiting to see. Most people believe if Governor Romney wins here, he would be the prohibitive favorite. I want each of you, since we have a short time left, and I'll start on the end, we'll come down the line. Congressman Paul, make your case. Make your case. South Carolina essentially faces this decision. Not so fast, let's continue the race, or embrace Governor Romney. Make your case to the people of South Carolina in these final hours.
Well, South Carolina is known for their respect for liberty. And a lot of people will ask the question, in a way, what will you do for South Carolina, or what will you do for New Hampshire, what will you do for the various states? But if you understand liberty, it's equal for everybody, it benefits everybody. So if you have a protection of liberty, which is the purpose of the Constitution, protection individual liberty, and that means you protect the private property rights system. And if you do that, that benefits everybody. And this is what we have to do, is convince people that we can bring people together with the understanding of what those beliefs were that made America great. And it is freedom. It isn't this continued spending money and debt. This is the reason we're in a mountain of debt, and we have to deal with it. We really never even got around to talking about that tonight. And one of my very modest proposals, my modest proposal is in the one first year, cut $1 trillion out of the budget to get started. Because the debt bubble is the great burden. It's a burden to all of us. And as I mentioned earlier, these programs are going to go down if we don't get our budget under control. And we have to be willing to look at overseas spending and all of the entitlement system here in this country.
Mr. Speaker.
Well, let me start. I want to thank CNN, and I want to thank the people of Charleston for a very, very interesting and very useful evening. And we have a real challenge. It is imperative that we defeat Barack Obama. This is, I believe, the most dangerous president of our lifetime. And if he is reelected after the disaster he has been, the level of radicalism of his second term will be truly frightening. But in addition to beating Obama, we have to have a team victory in the Senate and the House, and we have to have a principled victory. So the American people send a signal that in January of 2013, they want very dramatic, very deep change in Washington. I believe the only way to create the momentum is to be able to overcome his billion-dollar campaign with a series of debates which decisively convince the American people that a Saul Alinsky radical who is incompetent cannot be reelected, and I hope you will vote for me on Saturday as the person who could do that.
Governor Romney.
I agree with a lot of what these last two men have just said. I think this is an absolutely critical election. I believe that the founders took very careful thought in the preparation of the words of our Declaration of Independence that said that the Creator had endowed us with certain unalienable rights. Not the state, but the Creator. Among them, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And by virtue of those words, the pursuit of happiness, this became the place on the planet where we were able to pursue our dreams as we might choose. People came here from all over the world wishing to pursue happiness in their own way. And that has made us the most powerful economic engine in the world, where we can guard freedom because our military is the strongest in the world, coming from that powerful economic engine. This president's changing that. He's changing the very nature of America. He's turning us not from a merit society, an opportunity society, where people are free to choose their own course, but instead he's making us an entitlement society, where people think they're entitled to what other people have, where government takes from some and gives to others. That has never been the source of American greatness. We need to return to the principles upon which this country was founded. Our president said, I think, in a very revealing way, that he wants to fundamentally transform America. He's wrong. We need to restore the values that made America the hope of the earth. And I understand those values. I will do everything in my power to restore those values by keeping America free, by fighting for free enterprise, by standing up to President Obama and pointing out how he has made it almost impossible for our private sector to reboot. I will get America working again. I will defeat Barack Obama and keep America as it's always been, the shining city on a hill. Thank you.
Senator Santorum.
I agree with Governor Romney 100% in what he said about what the stakes are. The question is, who's the best person to take on President Obama? I would make the argument that a conviction conservative who has a clear contrast with President Obama on the most important issues of the day is the best person. Someone who has a clear contrast on health care, a clear contrast on global warming, a clear contrast on the Wall Street bailout. I want to talk about the one issue, that huge issue in the last couple of years where government has come in and taken over, and both Newt and Governor Romney have supported that. We need someone who not only says now they're going to stand up for conservative principles, the big issues, but someone who has a track record of doing so and winning. I'm the only one in this race that's ever defeated a Democratic incumbent. I did it for the Congress and I did it for the Senate. We're the only people in this race that actually has won a swing state. And I did it because I have a plan like I outlined today. I come from those states. I come from the background. I come with the working class and strong credentials, not just with a plan, but with the character that fits in with exactly the voters we need. Those Reagan Democrats in Pennsylvania and Ohio and Michigan and Indiana and Wisconsin, those are the votes and those are the states. You want to win? Elect someone who can win in the states we have to win and draw the clear contrast with President Obama. South Carolina, you've been told in the past you got to settle for a moderate because they can win. And you said when the last time we had a situation like this in 1980, you said, no, we're going to take the strong conviction conservative. And you voted for Reagan before Reagan was the Reagan we knew. Vote for the one who can do the job that America needs. Vote for me.
That concludes our debate this evening. I want to thank all of our candidates for their time tonight. I want to thank our wonderful audience. We also want to thank the people of South Carolina. I do it for CNN. I know the candidates do as well. Tune in to CNN 6 p.m. Eastern on Saturday, our special coverage of the South Carolina presidential primary. Also, next Thursday, we'll be live in Jacksonville, Florida for a Republican presidential debate there. Our coverage of America Votes 2012 continues right now.
And welcome back to the special edition of 360 here at the North Charleston Coliseum. I'm Anderson Cooper. What a night. Electric right off the bat. The four remaining Republican candidates for president have just finished a very fiery debate. There were some awkward moments for Mitt Romney on his taxes. Sharp exchanges as well between Rick Santorum, Newt Gingrich, and Governor Romney over their respective accomplishments. A tough back and forth over legal immigration, and Speaker Gingrich angrily denying he asked his second wife for an open marriage. That was the fiery start of this debate. The candidates right now are, well, with their family members. Soon will be greeting